Howdy, and welcome to Rediscover Arizona. I'm Crystal Long. Whether you're born and raised here like me or you're new to the area, you'll find that there's a treasure trove of hidden gems here. So get ready for an adventure as we rediscover Arizona right now.
Are you looking for a weekend adventure? How about a road trip along one of Arizona's most scenic drives?
On this week's Rediscover Arizona, our Kyle Shimchuk takes us along State Route 88. I've actually done this drive. Yes. It's good. And he's going to introduce us to one man who flew halfway around the world just to see it.
State Route 88, also known as the Apache Trail, was built in 1904 to provide construction access to the Roosevelt Dam. Today, it's no longer the fastest route to Lake Roosevelt, but it is the most breathtaking. Just ask Roy Binder.
It's mind-blowing.
He's from the Netherlands and shipped his '64 Volkswagen Bug across the Atlantic just to experience this iconic Arizona road.
This is nothing we've got anywhere in Europe, really.
Our drive began outside Apache Junction on a windy road you definitely can't pass on. If you get stuck behind a vehicle towing a boat, be patient. They're heading to Canyon Lake a few miles ahead. The Apache Trail passes through Tortilla Flat, then begins a steep climb before the pavement gives way to dirt. It's a bumpy ride for the next 25 miles.
The first bit's all pretty well maintained and sealed until you get more towards the canyon.
This is where the drive gets a little hairy.
Hey, you don't need to be a professional driver, but you do need to pay attention. I wouldn't count on this stopping a car.
Most of the Apache Trail was closed for nearly 5 years. In 2019, the Woodbury fire consumed almost 124,000 acres of the Tonto National Forest. 3 months later, a storm dumped 6 inches of rain onto the burn scar, causing runoff that severely damaged large portions of the road, making it impassable. The Apache Trail finally reopened last fall.
So you got the landscape, and then you got just the rock formations, and like you can see behind us now, all the colors, and it's just, yeah, you just don't really know where to look.
There's a surprise around every corner. We even spotted a group of young bighorn sheep. After a white-knuckle drive down into the canyon, the sparkling waters of Apache Lake appear. The road then follows the Salt River to the impressive Theodore Roosevelt Dam. The 45-mile trail takes about 2 hours to drive through, including plenty of stops to capture these unforgettable Arizona views.
For me, like yesterday, I saw a saguaro for the first time in my life. So that bit of side information, that was quite impressive.
For Rediscover Arizona, I'm Kyle Shimchuk.
14-foot transformer. Not the power transformer, but a transformer.
Because that's what I thought when we initially.
I did too, before I saw the video. Anyway, it's popped up in Cave Creek and is quickly becoming a viral sensation. It's left a lot of people asking, where did this come from and why is it here?
My kids would love seeing this, by the way. 12 News journalist Jade Cunningham went to check it out and explains the whole story behind it.
At the corner of Cave Creek and Carefree Highway,
she walked up and she just said, wow.
Is something so big.
He turns into what? What do you think he turns into? A car.
You almost have to see it to believe it.
I just want to hug him.
Well, you can.
I can hug him,
you
can I?
This 14-foot statue.
We were super excited to see it as we were driving in. Yeah. Both of us just clapped.
It's one of our favorite movies.
It is one of our favorite movies.
Popped up last week.
We obviously know who Bumblebee is, and when we drove past, we're like, we have to see Bumblebee.
And since it's caused quite the buzz.
I don't know, the magic of a kid's eyes. I'm just reliving through her. So to me, this is, it's cool. But to experience it for my daughter, and step back and be like, no, this thing is 20 times her size. So for her, this is awesome.
It's been nonstop cars all day long, pulling in, people with their kids, taking pictures in front of it, posing, just staring at it in awe, where did this come from?
Proprietor at Rare Earth Gallery, Wayne Helfand, is behind the statue.
I don't know what it really weighs. I know it took a crane and 5 guys and several hours to get it all together. It came in pieces.
He's creating an art walk at that intersection and says the space-age robot is the centerpiece.
Family in Indonesia makes all kinds of different figurines and art that I kind of discovered in one of my meanderings there. It's all car parts, pistons, mufflers, exhaust pipes.
He loves showcasing memorable pieces, but never expected a response like this.
You have to come and see it to really appreciate it and just marvel at how they assemble this and put it all together, because it's just mind-boggling.
This is really elaborate.
And as people from near and far take it all in,
It really was worth the drive. It was an hour for us, but well worth it. It was worth it.
anyone who sees it says it transforms the moment into something special.
I would say it's a little bit nostalgic because you get to see, Bumblebee behind us, right? And knowing that some of it was filmed here, and then, you're seeing this in real, it's an actual thing. So it's fun.
And creates a memory they're sure to never forget. Jade Cunningham, 12 News.
Random, vintage, and bizarre. No, not just our camera moving around. Those are actually just a few words to describe our next Rediscover Arizona destination in Phoenix.
It's coming close for you right there. 12 News journalist Crystal Long takes us to an auto shop turned eclectic shop, Hawk Salvage.
Inside this 1940s Grand Avenue auto garage is a store full of surprises. It's easy to see. Hawk Salvage is a hidden gem full of gems from around the world. Hey, you don't have to twist my arm to check it out. It's anyone's guess what we'll find in here.
Hopefully things they've never seen before. People are always amazed by my collection of late 1800s prosthetic eyeballs, memento moris, which are usually post-mortem photographs. Some of them are woven in with braided hair, or unusual anatomical posters.
This is like an antique Viewmaster. It's an endless treasure hunt in here. So where do you find all these things?
I do everything from dumpster diving to international travel. I've knocked on my share of doors asking people if they would be willing to sell anything in their side yards or front windows, and it's just kind of progressed from there. Now when I visit my daughter over in England, I've made some connections over there, and it's almost like they find me.
How did this all start?
Started at work. I was a fireman here in the Valley for 35 years. All fire departments, public servants, public safety people are under a tremendous amount of stress all the time, and I just happened to find something that really benefited me. I would almost call it therapeutic. It was a hobby that seemed a little bit cathartic at the time. I just started collecting random pieces here and there, and I just went from collecting to hoarding to selling to here I am.
Is there anything you would say is off limits for your store?
Everything is fair game. And I've picked up some pieces that definitely have like a little shock factor to them. I don't really collect anything specific, but if I find something that I think people are gonna go, what is that? Then there's a good chance I'm gonna pick it up. One of the most interesting things that I've found, a book of over 1,000 fabric swatches from 1832, from upholstery to suit material. That one I would have a hard time parting with.
After you're done checking out this crazy cool collection of curios, be sure to snap a pic here at this unique selfie wall. In Phoenix, Crystal Long, 12 News. See you later, Gator.
Leave it to Crystal. How cool is that?
Some pretty cool stuff right there.
Yeah, well, Hawk Salvage is only open on first Fridays and first Saturdays or by appointment.
All you have to do is message Hawk on Instagram to set something up.
That is wild.
Okay, right now he's looking around on the ground.
Spend time with bird watchers.
Yeah, I see him. Oh, he just moved. Yep.
You get why it's so captivating.
That's called the lazuli bunting. It has kind of like a turquoise blue head.
New and old bird nerds, as they call themselves, flocked to the Verde River over the weekend.
And to the left of feeder 3.
For the 25th anniversary Verde Valley Bird Festival.
Oh, I'm hearing pine siskins again. I mean, this is a beautiful setting because we're along the Verde River. How long have you been doing this? Since I was 5 years old.
They drew you in.
I'm hooked on birds. And I love it so much that I decided to open a backyard wild bird store 22 years ago in Prescott. Yeah, right to the right of it is another male lazuli bunting.
Do you think that's the same one?
I don't know. There's no way of knowing.
It's the sound that got me. With your eyes closed, I can just sit out in my backyard for hours and just listen to them. I never thought I'd be into birding, but it is so relaxing.
Oh, there's one right there. Do you see it up in the tree? It's a yellow-rumped warbler. Yellow-rumped warbler. That's self-explanatory.
Yeah. Some birds linger for a cameo.
Just a beautiful bird. Got to see the female too, so it's nice to know that they're migrating in pairs.
Others are meant only for memories.
Going right, fast. They're the fastest bird in the world, over 200 miles an hour. I hear birds. Yeah. I don't see any yet. Okay. It's better to find them with the naked eye first, then raise the binoculars to your eye once you find the bird that you want to look at.
For the first time ever, after these birders leave the festival, technology will keep its eyes fixed on the skies near this riparian corridor.
It says species detected.
The Northern Arizona Audubon Society recently joined a global tracking system known as MODIS.
It's quite an honor for us to be able to do this.
Here, southeast of Camp Verde, the Audubon Society has installed equipment on this tower. It can detect the birds in a 5-mile radius. Researchers across the globe have placed tiny tags on tens of thousands of birds. Receiver stations like this one pick up the bird's presence.
Birds that are migrating through Arizona often spend their winter time in Central and South America.
Just like we have passports that show the countries we've been to, you'll be able to have passports of these birds.
Hopefully, yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Scientists can identify habitats that need priority. For longtime conservationists who have collected years of data on birds in the Verde Valley, this new high-tech tracking system
It is so exciting.
is not just a way to protect birds, but our future.
I think they're a litmus paper for the health of our whole climate. You know the story about the canary and the mine shaft.
This is one of 2 new stations in northern Arizona. It hasn't picked up a tagged bird yet. Now we wait.
Yeah, now we wait.
A 24/7 bird watcher, part of a bigger effort to protect prehistoric friends threatened by global heating and pollution. Near Cottonwood.
Hummingbird's back up on its little perch.
Joe Dana, 12 News.
This corridor, this ribbon of green that runs through Dead Horse Ranch State Park is absolutely critical. So, for example, maybe you're hearing those birds right now. Those are Gila woodpeckers. I don't know if you could hear that in the background. So by hearing it, you can say, oh, they're over in that direction, makes it easier to find them.
You've already identified more than 90 species just in the last 3 days here.
Right. I saw some phalaropes, which is kind of a cool little water bird. I saw some gulls this morning, mergansers. We've seen vermilion flycatchers. We had wood ducks and green herons.
It's just visible for a second from where I was standing.
There's that expression that people want to protect what they love. And if people come to love the Verde River or birds, then they're going to protect it. And that's really, really important.
It's a very interesting hobby. It takes people all over the world. They can travel. It doesn't take a lot of money to do that. To buy a good pair of binoculars and a guidebook, and you can bird.
There's so much bird watching, bird frenzy on social media now that we see. Is that translating into participation with the Audubon Society?
We do see a lot more people interested in birds these days. They definitely are coming up to the Verde Valley and they're bird watching in our backyard. Birds need our voices. They can't speak for themselves, and their habitats are declining, and so we as humans need to add our voices to their bird song.
This is a bird list of all the possible birds that we can see. Not only do we bird here in Dead Horse Ranch State Park, but we take them up to the top of Mingus Mountain. We take them out to Agua Fria. A total of 104 species the first day.
Given what you just explained about the canary and the coal mine, I'm wondering how has this list changed?
Well, you know, a lot of it's good news.
Good.
As more people become aware, they understand that we have to save these natural areas for these birds. So long as the world community as a whole understands what we need to have happen in order to preserve our natural resources.
Part of our mission is making sure that we have a healthy and happy riparian area, as well as a fully recharged watershed and a flowing Verde River. And once people are on the Verde River and down here, we like to showcase that, and then they actually care, and they too want to be good stewards of the river system.
In the West Valley, Glendale is feeling the need for speed. The city welcomed the newest location of Andredy Indoor Karting Games to a crowd who were ready to put the pedal to the metal.
12 News journalist Jade Cunningham spoke to the legend, Mario Andredy himself, who says it was important to open a place like this that everybody can have some fun.
Celebration in Glendale Tuesday as Mario Andredy and his family opened a new indoor karting and games center.
This is it, you know, this is the facility that we finally made it here in Glendale, and and we're so excited to have this, the opportunity to be showcased what we have.
This location is the family's second in the valley and includes everything from bowling, laser tag, arcade games, and of course racing.
This area means a great deal to me because I used to spend so much time here in Phoenix racing, testing. And so again, we're very proud of what we have here.
Others also fueled by the excitement and were geared up for a good time.
Just having something exciting to do close to home is really great.
Jasmine Smiley and her son couldn't wait to take a spin around and says the addition of a place like this in the West Valley revs up the dance moves and memories.
It's definitely family friendly. It's a focus on opportunities for families to get out and do things together, but it's also a great opportunity for growth, for careers, and just to have fun.
I was hoping to be the first one on the car is what I was hoping for.
Glendale Mayor Jerry Wires is thrilled to welcome this new business to the city and invites others to shift their attention to the West Valley.
We have a city that's welcoming. We want people to come here. Never in my wildest imagination would have believed that Mario Andredy, his family, would be opening up a building here in this city, and then I'd get a chance to meet somebody that I used to watch race a long time ago. So it's very inspirational for me. It's exciting.
With the place officially open, things are off to a flying start.
Well, we have the whole family here, and again, it's a matter of pride, and we have plenty of that, and like I said, just happy times.
And as people go and test their need for speed,
I think it's fun because we're able to create memories together.
They say this place is on track to being a big win for the West Valley. Jade Cunningham, 12 News.
Looks so fun. I can't wait to take my kids there.
Those
Have you been
things
out there?
move.
Yes.
No, I've never been on an Andredy, but I've been on some of those electric go-karts, and they go.
They're fun, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chris. It is time now to rediscover the hidden gems of Arizona while making a stop for snacks.
There's a convenience store in South Phoenix that's been in business since the start of the 20th century, before Arizona was even a state. 12 News journalist Crystal Long takes us to the Del Monte Market.
This isn't your typical chips and pop pit stop. We're grabbing snacks inside the oldest continuously operating market in State 48.
If you're from South Phoenix and you say Del Monte Market, you know exactly where it is.
This is the intersection of 27th Avenue and Dobbins, and that building behind me is called the Del Monte Market. The original name was Brucher's. This business has been open the longest of any business in the entire state, serving this area since 1908, before Arizona became a state.
Why do you think out of all the markets in Arizona, this holds that title?
In the early days, this area of Levine was very isolated, and this was the only grocery store in the area. And this place was all farmers and ranchers, so they relied on this place to get whatever they needed. There's a hitching post right over there on the right, and people still ride their horses up here and shop. It was not just a market, it was a place for people to come and gather and talk about what was going on in the community.
There's not just sweets in store, but lots of sweet memories for generations of Phoenicians here.
I'm born and raised in South Phoenix, and as a kid, I would ride my bike with my friends. Come on over to the market and grab something to drink, refresh ourselves. You know, it's just little things like that that just warm your heart and make you feel that you're still at home.
If that building is gone, we lose the stories associated with it. Buildings are our touchstone to our history.
This historic building has even been the backdrop for commercials and movie scenes.
It's important for people to come and experience where we all came from and where things started.
I'm so glad that the proprietors of this place have continued to keep the tradition alive.
Whether it's a sentimental stop or your first time in, you'll quickly see why the Del Monte Market is a hidden gem. In Phoenix, Crystal Long, 12 News.
West Valley. A piece of history can still be seen in Goodyear for the next few days. The B-29 dock is one of only 2 remaining Super Fortress bombers still flying in the world.
That's right. 12 News journalist Jade Cunningham has more on the story behind it and why, for some, seeing it is something extra special.
Doc flew for the active duty Air Force from 1945 to 1956.
At 99 feet long with a 141-foot wingspan,
It's a technological advancement for the time.
the B-29 dock has quite the story.
The B-17, which is another Boeing product, was built 7 or 8 years before it. In 7 years, they were able to triple the bomb load and double the distance with this airplane. It was the first airplane to be pressurized, which meant it could fly above 30,000 feet. You didn't have to wear oxygen. You didn't have to worry about catching frostbite. There's actually a seat right up here.
Mark Novak is Doc's chief pilot.
As she aged out, they gave her to the Navy, and the Navy sat her over in the Mojave Desert for 44 years, started to deteriorate.
Luckily, the Super Fortress was found and restored. In 2017, she took off touring the country.
It's not like anything anybody else has ever flown.
Reminding people of her greatness.
The whole idea of the airplane is to, honor the men who flew them, the women who built them. Flying the airplane is the best way to show it and hear it and touch it and feel it.
And how old was he in that picture?
18. That's Kara Hansen's father, Harry Trimble. He was a B-29 navigator.
And I remember him talking about it often and about how huge the plane was and about how they really had to coordinate what they did as a flight crew.
His story's now tangible.
It's very exciting.
Especially as she sat for the first time where he did many years ago.
I commend these people for all the hours that they've put in to do this and to take the time to travel across the United States to offer the opportunity to people like me.
As fans line up to see this moving piece of history,
people are just amazed that it flies.
Novak says the B-29 Doc has a lot of life left in her.
We owe so much to that, the greatest generation, but our grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles that went out and they did something that they didn't want to do, but they did it and defended freedom and advanced the American cause.
And she'll continue to fly to help keep her story and the stories of so many others alive and honored. Jade Cunningham, 12 News.
Yeah, that thing looks massive,
It
right?
is,
It's amazing that it can get up in the air. So if you want to go check it out, the aircraft is at Goodyear's Airport through Sunday.
You can also look into getting a seat on one of their 30-minute rides. We have a lot more information right now. You can just go to our website, 12news.com. And what started as a school project turned into an unforgettable moment for a 9-year-old boy in Paradise Valley when his lemonade stand brought in an unexpected customer.
That's right. 12 News journalist Kyle Simchuk shows us how a chance encounter with an NBA star is now helping puppies across the valley.
Have a good day.
At 51st Street and McDonald in Paradise Valley, 9-year-old Eli Feinstein set up shop with a simple goal: raise money for puppies in need.
I had these banana chips, they were just dehydrated, no added anything. And then we had Gatorade's water and a little bit of LaCroix.
There's no set prices, just donations, all benefiting Almost There Rescue, which helps pregnant dogs and their pups.
And I raised $417 so far.
Last weekend, as Eli was about to call it a day, a customer in a classic blue car pulled over.
I whispered to my friend that might be Devin Booker, but I kind of doubted it.
It was Phoenix Sun star Devin Booker, Eli's favorite player.
First of all, he's really good, which is cool.
Eli kept his cool. He had a business to run after all.
He ordered the banana chips and an orange Gatorade.
And then Booker handed Eli $200. And he didn't ask for any change?
Nope. Whoa, thank you! Thank you so much!
As the NBA superstar was about to drive off, 9-year-old Eli couldn't help himself.
I am.
I'm like your biggest fan.
My man. Give me some.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You guys keep doing what you're doing. Have a good one.
I was just so happy for him because I know how much he is a fan, and the lesson here is about giving back to your community, and it kind of started this whole chain of reactions of kindness.
The Phoenix Suns posted video of the encounter, which as of Friday has been viewed nearly 500,000 times. Eli has gone viral, and so has the animal rescue.
Our phones have been off the hook. We've had so much more foot traffic. She wants to just give a little shout out to D-Book and Eli again. Thank you, thank you.
You can visit Eli's stand on Saturday from 8 to noon.
We're adding dried strawberries and apples.
And help him reach his goal of $1,000.
He's such a sweet angel, and we're just so grateful for him.
In Paradise Valley, Kyle Simchuk, 12 News.
Thanks for watching. You can catch more of our Rediscover Arizona stories on the 12 Plus app and on 12news.com.